Friends, in this broken and fragile world, we need a higher level of consciousness, a cognitive mental maturity. Talking to my good friend Deborah Helsing, a faculty member of Harvard Grad School of Education, where she teaches classes on adult development theory and immunity to change, reminds us of the infinite wisdom of Albert Einstein and Nelson Mandela's cognitive mental maturity. Einstein often spoke about consciousness. He famously once said, "No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it." This insight highlights in our current global world the need for a higher level of conscious thinking, for new perspectives, and for cognitive mental maturity. Mental maturity also leads to reconciliation in this broken and fragile world. I recently shared a social media post reflecting on these harrowing times and the urgent need for all of us to develop this higher level of conscious thinking, mental maturity, and find ways to create reconciliation. And I quote, "As we wind down in 2025, it has been a harrowing month for all the wrong reasons. The Bondi Beach attack in Australia targeted Jewish Australians celebrating the first night of Hanukkah, ironically, the Festival of Light. The attack, which killed 15 people and injured 27 more, is the country's worst mass shooting in 30 years. Closer to home in the United States, the Ivy League Brown University shooting in Providence, Rhode Island, left 2 Brighton young minds dead and 9 more injured. A community of students, faculty members, and residents were locked down for days before the suspect was found. Locked down not physically, but emotionally, in terms of emotional anxiety, trauma, anger, and fear. The world certainly seems broken right now. The news from Australia and Providence is sadly shocking, but all too familiar. It is hard to believe that we live in societies where the senseless slaughter of innocents across nations in the Americas, Southeast Asia, Europe, Middle East, and Africa has become all too common worldwide. December the 16th was Reconciliation Day in South Africa, and we are reminded about what it takes to heal our brokenness. The unregulated, reactive, socialized mind with level 3 tribal thinking retaliates brutally. It lashes out unthinkingly, and it hurts others unashamedly. It takes a masterful, mentally mature mind and daily discipline to think things through and regulate when the heat is high. Mandela spent 18 of his 27 years in prison on the infamous Robben Island, an iconic cell that represented his confinement, a cramped concrete space with just a straw mat and a small bucket where he could touch the opposite walls with his head and feet, a mere 8 by 7 feet. That cramped concrete space gave birth to a mentally mature, self-transformed mind with a level 5 conscious thinking. When Mandela was released, others expected him to fight. He said, "Put down your pangas." The world waited and watched. He said, "We will build a better life for all, friends and foes, and black and white alike." Understandably, angry South Africans called for retribution. He said, "As I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I did not leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I would still be in prison." That prison cell confined Mandela physically, but expanded his thinking exponentially. It kept him locked up, but it redefined his understanding of freedom. It isolated him from loving family, colleagues, and close friends, but it helped him reframe healing, forgiveness, and reconciliation. If there is a reason for hope to come out of the tragedy at Bondi Beach in Australia, is it perhaps that a Syrian Muslim man risked his life to save Jews? This example of courage, compassion, and a reverence for all, Muslims and Jews alike, men and women, black, brown, and white, should be an example for us all. in this broken world is a higher level of conscious thinking, mental maturity, and reconciliation, not retribution, that lead to freedom. Your freedom, our freedom, and theirs. So until next time, my friends, remember that leading boldly is about making thoughtful, clear choices. And bold leadership is about taking bold action, just one small step at a time. One step for you, but together with higher levels of conscious thinking, with mental maturity and reconciliation, a giant step for humanity. Take care and take thoughtful, bold action.